Hello everyone, myself Falguni Solanki. Welcome to our channel. Today we will start our session with Snapshot lesson number 3, Ranga's Marriage. The Ranga's Marriage has been written by Masti Venkatesa Iyengar. Let's see about the story of Ranga's marriage. Ranga is an interesting story of how a person manipulates to get a young boy married to an 11 years old girl in village. Don't take it serious because it's a older time story, and as we know in the previous times of India, there were the tradition to for the early marriage like child marriage. So the story is connected with that child marriage, and the girl whom the Ranga married was just 11 years old. The story dates back to the early days of British rule. As we know, before 1947, we have British rule here, and the story also connected with the British rule. When the English was not that ordinary and day-to-day language, and especially in village. In this story, Rangappa, the son of village accountant, is sent to Bangalore to study, and his homecoming after 6 months make a big event in the village because everyone was curious to meet that boy, how that Ranga now, because everyone thought that after he visited that village or city life, definitely there are lots of change in a boy, and they are sadly disappointed because the narrator said that Ranga was as before he was visited city. And now it's time for the villagers and the family of the Ranga and they think to marry Ranga with some beautiful girl who can hold and manage their house nicely. And suddenly he yani ki Ranga resolved to get the boy married to a very young and immature just 11 years old girl, and the name of the girl was Ratna. And that Ranga also seek support of the Sastri, like as you know in our Indian mythology there is a match of Kundli and all that. So let's see what happened. Is that Kundli, the Sastra, helped Ranga to marriage with Ratna or not? Let's see in the lesson. So Ranga, the accountant's son, is one of the rare breed among the village folk who has been to the city to pursue his study. So here the Ranga, the village boy, like ordinary village boy, and rare breed yani ki rarely you can see this type of boy, and village story like normal, like हम लोग बोलते हैं ना जो लोग कोई भी स्टोरी खुद ही क्रिएट कर लेते हैं. And he decided to pursue his study. Pursue यानी कि carry on or go ahead. When he returned to his village from the city of Bangalore, the crowds mill around his house to see whether he has changed or not. As I told you in the introduction of the story, the villagers were curious to know about Ranga, how Ranga behaved now after he visited city life. His ideas about marriage are now quite different. Or are they? Now, after visiting city, Ranga's thought of marriage and married life about his life partner was completely changed. So here the narrator Iyengar asks question to us. Now about marriage are now quite different thoughts of Ranga, और आर दे यानी कि सच्ची में उसके थॉट्स कुछ अलग हैं और नॉट. लेट्स सी. व्हेन you see this title, some of you may ask, Ranga's marriage? Definitely. When you first time that read or heard this title, Ranga's marriage, means यार कोई नाम ही नहीं मिला राइटर को, यही नाम रख दिया Ranga's marriage. Why not Ranganatha Vivaha or Ranganatha Vijaya, like South Indian words, Vivaha or Vijaya? Well, yes, I know. I could have used some other mouth filling or one like Jagannath Vijaya or Girija Kalyana. So narrator said that definitely whenever you heard the name, you are also curious that why Ranga's marriage. As a South Indian narrator, I have to choose like Ranga's Vivaha or Ranga's Vijaya. So here Ranga's full name was Rangnath. Mouth filling यानी कि big and high sounding word like Jagannath Vijaya, Girija Kalyana, like typical South Indian words. But then this is not about Jagannatha's victory or Vijaya's wedding. It's about our own Ranga's marriage, hence no fancy title. Narrator says that it's our boy. Ranga, it means is nearly person. So there is no need to be formalities. That's why I choose that typical title. There is no need that of the fancy यानी कि attractive titles. Hosahali is our village. You must have heard of it. The name of Hosahali. No. So whenever I read this sentence, you must have heard of it. So might you take time of 1 or 2 seconds and then you say no, we never heard this name Hosahali. What a pity. But it is not your fault. There is no mention of it any geography book. Narrator says that the name of Hosawali isn't mentioned on any geography book. So definitely you never heard. Those Sahib in England writing in English probably do not know that such a place exists and so make no mention of it. So why he used that word Sahib of England? Because as we know that during 1947 when it's a partition of India and Pakistan, they created a map, and on that map there is no sign of village Hosahali. And even narrator says that the Sahib of England, the Britishers, they never pronounced or never knew about this city, this place. So there is no need to mention of it. Our own people too forget about it. Own people यानी कि the villagers, the previous villagers, now they were not in village, they may settle down at some famous and the well-known places. You know how it is. They are like a flock of sheep. How it is यानी कि how it is to know that like a flock यानी कि group of sheep. Once he walks into a pit and the rest blindly follow it, when both the Sahib in England and our own geographers have not referred to it, you cannot expect the poor cartographer to remember to put in on the map. Narrator said that narrator compare the thing with the flock of sheep. As we know that flock of sheep यानी कि एक sheep जाएगा उसके पीछे सारे जाएंगे. Doesn't matter they are falling in pit. So the narrator said that the rest, first Sahib in England, they are completely unaware with the area of India. That's why they didn't mention. Second one, the geographers. Own geographers यानी कि the person definitely whenever they created the map, they took help of our local geographers. They also needed to mention the name on the map. Now how can we expect that cartographer यानी कि person who draws map on of a territory, how can we expect that he put that name? Because he was just a doer. उसको बोला गया है और उसने किया है. Can you? And so there is not even the shadow of our village on any map. So if you try to find the word Hosahali on the map, you will not get it according to narrator. Sorry, I started somewhere and then went off in another direction. Narrator says that definitely I had started my story with the Ranga's marriage. In the first, second, third, fourth, fifth line, we can say that connected and the story is contained with Ranga's marriage. But suddenly, with the introduction of the Hosahali, with the line number 6, completely the whole para diverted towards the narrator's mentionation about the existence of village on map. So narrators apologize for it. If the state of Mysore is to Bharatvarsha what The sweet Karigabadu is a festive meal. Then Hosahali is to Mysore state what the filling is to the Karigabadu. Now your question, what is Karigabadu? Then your answer is here. First one you can read here. And it's a South Indian fried sweet filled with coconut and sugar. A South Indian fried sweet filled with coconut and sugar. So the name of this is Karigabadu. And what I have said is absolutely true. Believe me, I will not object to your questioning it, but I will stick to my opinion. I am not the only one who speaks glowingly of Hosahali. We have a doctor in our place. His name is Gundabatta. He agrees with me. He has been to quite a few places. No, not England. If anyone asks him whether he has been there, he says, no, Anaya. I have left that to you. Running around like a flea-pested dog is not for me. I have seen a few places in my time, though, as a matter of fact, he has seen many. Okay, now let's try to understand it. So, here the narrator says that the state of Mysore, the sweet Karigabadu is a festive meal. Festive meal, any festival is there, the sweet dish Karigabadu is always in the menu. So then Hosahali is to Mysore state what the filling is to the Karigabadu. It's like Hosahali is also one thing, one special place which must be at every one's mind. When I said it's absolutely true, absolutely yani ki completely true, believe me, I will not object to your questioning about it. If you ask something about the Karigabadu or about the Hosahali, don't worry, I will not object on it. Object yani ki oppose. I am not the only one who will speak glowingly to Hosahali. Narrator क्या बोले glowingly यानी कि in a praising manner. I am not only one जो होसाहली को इतना praise कर रहा है. I have one another person, and the person was a doctor in their place, and his name is Gundabatta. He also agree with me कि होसाहली it means oh wow, it's a superb place, wonderful place, and he has been to quite a few places. No, not England. उन्होंने भी कुछ places यानी कि कुछ place को visit किया है. Not even England. If anyone asks him whether he has been there, he says no. There यानी कि where? England. No. Anaya. Anaya यानी कि it's अन्ना बोलते हैं ना हम लोग. A respectful name. I have left that to you. I have left that to you यानी कि you here, we, readers. Running around like a flea-pested dog. Flea-pested dog, it means troubled by flea or insects. Is not for me. I have seen a few places in my time. कौन बोलता है यहाँ पे? That writer, narrator and the doctors. They are saying that they have visited few places. Few places, it means not few. We have to take as many. So now again question you can read here that number 2. First you have seen here first, here number 2. As I told you, the meaning of Annaya is a respectful person. Here you can also see in that book Kannada, a respectful term for an elder. जैसे कि हम लोग बोला ना अन्ना, आप लोगों ने ये वर्ड सुना होगा मूवीज़ में या आपके आसपास कोई रहते होगा तो आपने शायद वहाँ पे भी सुना होगा. It's an अन्ना. We have some mango trees in our village. Come visit us and I will give you a raw mango from one of them. Narrator said that. Now look, the first 3 or 4 lines completely connected with Ranga's marriage. Then whole para connected with that about Hosahali and the history of Hosahali. Now narrator introduced us with the sweet dish, especially their festive dish to us. And now it's about the mango. Narrator said that there is a mango trees in our village. If you visit our village, definitely I will offer a few of mangoes from them. Do not eat it. Just take a bite. The soreness is sure to go straight to your. So here, narrator says that just do not need to eat full. Just taste it. Just take a bite of it. And the soreness, the sweetness of it is completely touch your Brahmahandra. It means you can see the meaning here. The third one in Kannada. The soft part in a child's head was skull bones join. Later, here used that idiomatic expression to convey the extreme potency of soreness. So यहाँ पे नरेटर बोलते हैं कि अगर आपको उसको जस्ट टेस्ट भी करोगे तो लाइक यू कैन, आपको इतना स्वीट लगेगा कि आप उसको फील कर सकते हो. ओके, लेट्स सी. एंड लाइक सोनेस यानी कि दैट टेंगी टेस्ट, खट्टापन हम लोग बोलते हैं ना, लाइक स्वीट खट्टा जो आम का लाइक टेस्ट होता है, वो हम लोगों को बहुत पसंद, स्पेशली बच्चों को बहुत पसंद होता है. I once took one such fruit home and a chutney was made of it. चटनी यानी कि हम लोग बोलते हैं लाइक अचार तो बनाते हैं और वो चटनी फॉर्म में भी उनको बनाते हैं. जो कच्चा आम होता है, जो पक्का आम होता है, दोनों टाइप्स के बनते हैं. सारे आप लोगों ने टेस्ट भी किया होगा. All of us ate it and the cough was suffered from. After that, after I had that ate the chutney of mango, then there's a suffering of cough. It was when I went for the cough medicine that the doctor told me about the special quality of the fruit. So whenever after suffering of that cough, narrator visited the doctor for the medicine and the doctor also informed him about the special quality of that mango. Just as the mango is special, so is everything else around our village. Narrator just presented one example in a form of mango, how special their village is, and not only that mango, but things around Hosahali's, everything is special. We have a creeper growing in the ever so fine water of the village pond. Now, what is the meaning of creeper? Creeper यानी कि that trailing plant. जैसे कि हम लोग बोलते हैं ना willow. It flowers are a feast to behold. Feast यानी कि lovely, pleasant to behold. उसको like touch करना, उसको देखना, it's completely pleasant moment. Get 2 leaves from the creeper when you go to the pond for your bath, and you will not have to worry about not having leaves on which to serve the afternoon meal. As we know, in the South Indian villages and South Indian people mostly eat in that leaves. So here narrator क्या बोलते हैं कि whenever you visit that village pond, just took that leaves, and if you have 2 leaves, there is no worry for the after meal, because there is no need of dishes on all that. You can easily eat your meal using that leaves. You will say I am rumbling. को लगा कि बहुत rumbling यानी going off the point. Definitely हम सबको लग रहा है कि like narrator is going off point because it started with the Ranga's marriage and suddenly it's presenting the history and the speciality of Hosahali. So rambling means off track. It is always like that when the subject of our village comes up, but enough. If anyone of you would like to visit us, drop me a line. Narrator says that it's happened whenever there is discussion about especially my Hosahali, my village. Definitely, I went off track because everyone loves their native place and I am one of them. But narrator says that if you want to visit my place, just give me a line. Drop me a line यानी कि just send me a message. I will let you know where Hosahali is and what things are like there. If you want to visit, then definitely there is no mention of Hosahali on the map. So you need a local guide to help you to reach there. So just inform me, I will help you how to reach Hosahali. The best way of getting to know a place is to visit it. Don't you agree? यानी कि narrator says that it's the best way to know about the place and visit that place by the help of local people. So don't you agree with me? Now it's up to you. You are agree with narrator or not. What I am going to tell you is something that happened 10 years ago. We did not have many people who knew English. Then our village accountant was the first one who had enough courage to send his son to Bangalore to study. It is different now. There are many who know English. During the holidays, you come across them to every street talking in English. So now what happened? Narrator said that it's a story before 10 years. Before 10 years, and right now narrator mentioned this story. The story already happened before 10 years. So that time, look, present narrator has said that 10 years before, yani ki not in 2020, the time when the story has been written, and the incident happened before 10 years. And narrator said that, as we know, that time, yani ki when the narrator pointed the story, very few people knew English, especially in village area. There is no tradition or trend to send their children to city for study, but in that village there is only one person, first person, the village accountant, who dared to send his son Bangalore to study. And it is different now. In every street, every next village, you can see that how people speak fluently English, but now not that time. Those days we didn't speak in English, nor did we bring in English words while talking with each other. Right, like right now in normal tone, if you are talking to someone in your communication, every second or third word you use in English. Even the 2 or 3 years child, a boy, a girl, who ever not seen the classroom's door, but still whenever they speak, they have little bit accent of English on the English word. Try करो ना, आप देखो ना करके. Like, do you understand? I want it. Like many words, बहुत सारे बच्चे जो छोटे छोटे वर्ड्स भी आजकल बोल रहे हैं. तो नरेटर बोल रहे हैं कि right now we are discussing in 2020, but this incident happened years ago during the time of British, so definitely before 1947. Okay, now let's continue. In Kannada, what has happened is disgraceful, believe me. Narrator says that most of the time, whenever we discuss with our near one, we have a language which we use in our communication was Kannada. And disgraceful यानी कि humiliating or shameful. Believe me, अगर आप नेटिव लैंग्वेज में बात कर रहे हो तो what is like in shameful or humiliating? Nothing. It's your tone. It's your language. You must have to speak in it. Because a native language or our own language is the best way to understand the content. The other day, I was in Ramarao's house when they bought a bundle of firewood. So one day, narrator visited Ramarao's house and they bought a bundle of firewood. Firewood यानी कि जो फायर के लिए लकड़ी चाहिए वो. Ramarao's son came out to pay for it. He asked the woman, "How much should I give you?" "4 pice," she said. She यानी कि that woman who sell that bundle of firewood. She said that you have to pay me 4 pice. The boy told her he did not have any change. Now you can see that word change in double inverted comma. So according to you, what is change? यहाँ पे कुछ पैसे की बात हो रही है. The boy said that he didn't have change. Change यानी कि that loose small coins यानी कि उसके पास छुट्टे नहीं थे. And asked her to come the next morning. The poor woman did not understand the English word change and went away muttering to herself, "I too did not know." Later, when I went to Ranga's house and asked him, I understood what it meant. So the narrator said that when the woman who sold that firewood and the boy says that she didn't have any change, the woman didn't understand the word change. So she just left his house with muttering यानी कि like mumbling, not speaking clearly. यानी कि आप कुछ बोल grumbling, आप कुछ बोल रहे हो लेकिन you are hardly audible to someone. So the woman thought that the boy didn't want to pay his money, that's why he said this. It's like humoring or a funny event, but it's also some satire. Like you are using your word in front of the people who are completely unaware about from their language. अब उस इंसान के सामने कैसे बोल सकते हो जिसको वो लैंग्वेज पता ही नहीं है? तो डेफिनेटली देयर इज अ चांसेस ऑफ मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग. Even our narrator didn't know the meaning of change. That's why whenever they visit the Ranga's marriage and he asked Ranga, what is the meaning of that word? That time Ranga informed him the correct meaning of this word. This priceless commodity यानी कि like thing or useful thing, priceless बोला है, useful thing. The English language was not so widespread in our village a decade ago. Decade यानी कि 10 years ago. There is no use of English language in the area, especially village area. That was why Ranga's homecoming was a great event. That's why when after 6 months Ranga visited his house again, that time is like a big event for the villagers. Now how Ranga behave, how Ranga speak, they want to know. People rushed to his doorstep announcing the accountant's son has come. As we know, like there's a beautiful thing. The years ago, if the boy is 30 or 25 or 35 or 40 years old, but still he remember or call by his father or grandfather's name, it's a beautiful thing. But right now, socho, the kids of the family are too mischievous there. Most of the public know parents by their name. किसके पापा है, किसके मम्मी है, तो वो चिंटू है, उसकी मम्मा है. So now you can see that how change after 40-50 years is a complete change. चलो, let's do not rambling. हम लोग भी off track नहीं होते, lesson पे focus करते हैं. The boy who had gone to Bangalore for his studies is here, it seems, and come, Ranga is here, let's go and have a look. Everyone is like gathering there and everyone is calling next one, let's go and visit Ranga's house and see how he is right now. Attracted by the crowd, I too went and stood in the courtyard and asked, why have all these people come? There is no performing monkey here. Now narrators try to crack the fun here. He said that why all peoples are here, like any there is a monkey event or monkey time. जैसे कि हम लोग छोटे होते तब भी हम लोग देखते आए कि like there is a monkey dance, especially in village or street areas. A boy, a fellow without any brain, said loud enough for everyone to hear, what are you doing here? Then a youngster, immature and without any manners, thinking that all these things were now of the past, I kept quiet. When narrator asked someone who stood nearby to him, what's going on here? The boy is a completely immature and youngster. He said that what are you doing here? If you do not know what is going on, then what are you doing here? The narrator says that boy was completely mannerless, childish. So he decided to keep quiet. Who? Narrator. Seeing too many people there, Ranga came out with a smile on his face. Had we all gone inside, the place would have turned into what people call the black hole of the Calcutta. So narrator says that isn't it possible to stay there because there were many and there is no enough space to stand there. Thank God it did not. Everyone was surprised to see that Ranga was the same as he had been 6 months ago, and when he had first left our village. So everyone was satisfied and surprised. Wow, Ranga was as it is. There is no change. And old lady who was near him ran her hand over his chest, looked into his eyes and said, the Janevara is still there. He hasn't lost his caste. She went away soon after that. The lady who was nearby the Rangas, she tried to touch her Janevara. Janevara यानी कि as we know the secret thread worn by the Brahmin parivar or family. Still we can see that the boy of the Brahmin family wear it, and the woman said that it means he hasn't lost his caste. If you remove that thread, then definitely it's believed that you lost your caste, religious piousness. And she just went out from there. Ranga laughed. Ranga laughed. Ranga laughed. Why? Because he was surprised and amused to see that how the villagers, their very own people, behave like this. Once they realized that Ranga still had the same hands, legs, eyes, and nose, the crowd melted away like a lump of sugar in a child's mouth. So once the villagers satisfied and confirmed that Ranga is still their Ranga, then definitely they just went away from their lump यानी कि shapeless mass. जैसे कि हम लोग शुगर का पूरा एक चम्मच मुंह में रख दिए और वो इजीली मेल्ट हो जाती है, वैसे ही जो पीपल्स, जो क्राउड वहाँ पे था, इजीली वहाँ से चला जाता है. I continued to stand there. After everyone had gone, I asked, "How are you, Rangappa? Is everything well with you?" It was only then that Ranga noticed me. There were many people, as narrator mentioned. Almost all people melt away and just left that place, and the narrator was still there. After everyone left, narrator asked, "How are you, Ranga?" And that time Ranga noticed him. Okay, our narrator, our younger, was also there. He came near me and did a namaskar, respectfully saying, "I am all right with your blessings." Look, here we can also notice the two things. One, Ranga, who already visited the village for 6 months, and the second one is the boy who was already in the village. Still, he answered very rudely to our narrator. And secondly, Ranga, who visited city, but still he has the sense of villagers. And he did that namaskar and said that just your blessing, yani ki your good wishes, I am good. I must draw your attention to this aspect of Ranga's character. Narrator said that this one is also good quality of Ranga's character. He knew when it would be to his advantage to talk to someone. Here, fourth one, you can see that the sacred thread worn by the Brahmin is the meaning of that Janevara. Okay. And rightly assessed people's worth. As for his namaskara to me, he did not do it like any present day boy, with his head up towards the sun, standing stiff like a pole without joints, jerking his body as if it was either a wand or walking stick. Narrators say that whenever he did namaskara, it's not like typical today's boy. Like if we discuss right now, if you do namaskar to someone, how is your expression or gestures? Just notice it. Try to do it. Narrator says that with his head up, here he presented the namaskar mudra of Ranga with his head up towards the sun, standing stiff like a pole without joints. एंड स्टिफ यानी कि इनफ्लेक्सिबल, हार्ड एंड अपराइट, जैसे कि हम लोग टच करते हैं ना अभी खड़े खड़े, जैसे कि पूरे झुकते भी नहीं हैं. जर्किंग हैज़ बॉडी एज इफ इट वॉज इधर अ विंड ऑफ वॉकिंग स्ट्रीट. जर्किंग लाइक हम लोग जैसे स्टिक होते हैं, वी नेवर ट्राई टू बेंड. एक्चुअली यहाँ पे देयर इज अ टाइप ऑफ नमस्कारा फ्रॉम द टिपिकल बॉयज ऑफ टुडे, नॉट रंगा, इट वॉज माई मिस्टेक. Nor did he merely fold his hands. Just not normally he fold his hands. He bent low to touch my feet. "May you get married soon," I said, blessing him. After exchanging a few pleasantries, I left. Like typical blessings, narrator says that get married soon. And when he touched his toe nicely, touch his feet nicely, and after exchanging few of the pleasantries, yani ki right normal light conversation, narrator left the place. Okay students, remaining lesson finish discuss in next part. Till then, just keep watching our channel. Thank you.